What's up, you guys? It's Jaden with the Moonlight Craftsman channel. On this video, I just thought I'd go over some little tips. I'm no expert, but spraying a lacquer over patinaed copper like this, and I'll kind of go over the setup that I got here. Back here, I just got an upright air compressor. It's about 60 or 80 gallons or so. So a lot of people might have that. And I know you can get a self-contained unit. I'd like to get one of those. Those are portable, and I think they do a lot better job of keeping out any moisture or oil. They use turbine compressors in there. Supposed to be better, but so I'm just using the air compressor that I got in my garage. But I got it set up where I got two lines that I can come off of with air. One of them set up, it has oil to it, and so I use that one for air tools and whatnot. And then I got another line that doesn't have any oil hooked up to it, but it's got a desiccant dryer on it. So I don't have a air dryer, but I do have a little desiccant thing that the air has to go through, and I'd use that for filling up tires and blowing off stuff, and use it for my spray gun. And looking at the spray gun, I just got a cheapie from Tractor Supply, but this is a HVLP, high volume, low pressure. The tip does say max 10 psi on it, but I kind of found that it runs a little bit better right at 20 psi. So I'm more about, if it works the way you want it to, more than following the rules all the time. But then I did add another little regulator for sprayers right at the inlet. That makes sure that you still got all that pressure right up to the gun, and so that keeps your volume more consistent. And added another little dryer type thing on the bottom. I don't even know what it's called, but you got, let's see, I think this is air control, this is volume control, and this is fan control. So a couple different settings. I'm not going to mess with them right now because I got it set up the way I want it. The lacquer that I'm using for this is kind of a specialty lacquer. It's called Permalac, original formula, not that environmentally friendly crap. But this is the matte finish. The difference between the matte is it just has an added material into the lacquer. So lacquer by itself is always going to be satin or shiny. So they add a I can't think of the word. If you know what I'm talking about, put it down in the comments. But anyway, so one of the advantages of the matte obviously is it's not going to be shiny. So I mean, we're going for more of a rustic type finish on this piece, so that's why I went with matte. But one of the disadvantages is it does take out some of the color, and kind of does make it a little bit darker than it would otherwise. So just something to consider when you're choosing matte or satin finish. So here's just a lacquer thinner. This is the one that Permalac makes, but you can use just regular lacquer thinner, and you thin this about 50%. It's a real thin formula, so you do multiple coats. I mean, it says about 4 coats to get a decent thickness on it, and proper protection for outdoors. So the thing about the lacquer, it is a good finish. It's a good looking finish. It's easy to fix. If you need to fix it, you can fix it later, and you don't necessarily have to redo the whole thing. You can fix sections. That's a nice thing about it. It's not real thick, which, you know, that could be a disadvantage at sometimes, but, you know, if you're, you know, we're not wanting it to look like there's some thick layer of clear coat on this, you know, so that in this case is an advantage. And, you know, it's not extremely abrasive resistant, so it's not real durable in that way, but this stuff is very durable in the outdoors, you know, all weather. So the first thing that I need to do, I put the patina on this yesterday. I've had it covered so I don't get any fingerprints or anything on there, because your fingerprints will leave marks on this copper. First thing I need to do before I spray it is I need to wipe it down with the lacquer thinner. And you're going to want to just keep on wiping until you don't have anything left on the rag. The one thing I did forget to say is you're going to want to use one of these masks right here. It'll say that the filters are used for organic compounds, you know, should say solvents, adhesives, something like that. And also in my shop, I do have an explosion-proof fan that I will turn on here in a little bit. And I also got over here a little undersized intake for fresh air to come in. But so I'm not too worried about spraying inside here, but you can just spray outside, not a problem. This says medium, and I'm not medium. So I've got the front of it clean. I'm getting ready to mix up some lacquer. You'll have to forgive me for not wearing a mask right now so my microphone will work, but I'm getting ready to put it on real soon. You're gonna wanna mix this up real good because it has that matting agent in it, the lacquer does. And so get that mixed up real good, and like I said earlier, about a 50-50 mix for the spray gun, and then we'll get to spraying.